All right, good afternoon. I want to discuss now the seventh bracha of Shemona Esrei, which is the Birchas HaGeula, the blessing for redemption. There is a lot to unpack here. We'll focus, as usual, just on one part of this bracha. I want to focus on Re'eh Ve'anyenu, when we ask Hashem, please to look at our affliction. Re'eh Ve'anyenu, look upon our affliction. So what are we asking here? What do we want from Hashem exactly? I mean, to look at our affliction, do we really need Hashem to make a special effort to recognize a problem before he solves it? We don't see this in any other bracha. We don't say to Hashem, look at how ignorant we are and then give us das. Look at how we don't have money and now give me money. We don't ask Hashem for that. So what is special about this bracha that we're asking Re'eh Ve'anyenu? Why this specific bracha are we asking Hashem to look at us? We know that Hashem recognizes our situation, so we have to understand what are we really asking of Hashem here. So we have to understand the origin of this Re'eh Ve'anyenu. Everything in the Shemona Esrei is taken from somewhere in Tanakh, and the concept of looking at our affliction is the origin of that is from the Geula, the Geulas Mitzrayim, when we left Mitzrayim. In Parshas Bikurim, where we talk about bringing the first fruits of the Beis HaMikdash, so it talks about redeeming us from slavery, and then there's an intermediate stage, and it says, Vayar Hashem esanyenu v'esamalenu v'eslachatzenu. Hashem saw our affliction, and our toil and our burden. So it's safe to assume that over there we're praising Hashem. We're not just pointing out the fact that the cause for us leaving Mitzrayim. It's to praise Hashem and thanking us for bringing us to this great land. It's a parsha of praise, the parsha of Bikurim. So what is Re'eh Ve'anyenu? What is it doing there? So we have to understand here the connection between Re'eh Ve'anyenu and leaving Mitzrayim and how that ties into our everyday life. I'm going to try to explain that quickly right now. So what we're doing here is we're asking Hashem, we're saying, Hashem, take our suffering to heart. We know that recognizing the suffering, it's not just an informative thing. It's we want Hashem to partake in our suffering. Re'eh Ve'anyenu is essentially a request that Hashem identify with our suffering. And again, it's a common theme that we've seen throughout so far in the Shemona Esrei, where we just want Hashem to be close to us and connect to us, or for us to connect to Hashem. So the question is, can we really do this? Is this something that we can do? Can we ask Hashem to really do this for us? So again, we have to go back to Yetzias Mitzrayim. We have to go back to the Yetzias Mitzrayim and when we were redeemed. The term Geula is used when there is no choice. So for example, Geula is used in the Torah as redemption of a slave or a field, and those examples are very good examples because the slave can't free himself. He needs someone else to come free him. A field that's in the hands of someone else, there's nothing you could do. It has to be left for someone else to redeem that field. And that's a very good example of the term of Geula. And that's what we're trying to also fit into our everyday davening. Again, when we think about Yetzias Mitzrayim, you think about the Yam Suf. Klal Yisrael got to the Yam Suf. They're fleeing Mitzrayim. They're still kind of slaves in their own mind. And they find themselves trapped between the Yam Suf before them and Paro's army behind them. They're enclosed on all sides. They have nowhere to go. They have no escape to make. And then all of a sudden Hashem's outstretched arm appears and the path to salvation becomes clear. That's the type of Geula that we're talking about. So this bracha comes not just from our suffering that we have, but from the sense of helplessness that we have. That's really what it is. That's why we open up, we say, Re'eh Ve'anyenu. Hashem should perceive this inner distress and identify with it and take it upon himself. The redemption from Mitzrayim started with this. The pasuk says, Vayar Elikim es bnei Yisrael. Hashem saw Vayed Elikim, and then he knew what to do. He saw, he knew, meaning he understood, he absorbed the inner sense of the predicament that Klal Yisrael was in, not their slavery. It was more like the pasuk says right before, they were groaning, they were crying from the avodah. That's what Hashem vayar elikim. That's what Hashem saw. He understood. He took it to heart, so to speak. So the request over here for Re'eh V'anyenu is a recognition of the state of despair that we have without Hashem, and the hopelessness that we have. And over here we're admitting that we desperately need the Ribono Shel Olam and we rely on Him. So this bakasha comes from our own understanding of our own affliction that we have, and that's why we start the bracha. We say Re'eh V'anyenu, so that Hashem can be with us and redeem us.